you said in your 3 Feet from Gold story, I mean, it sparked so many. I mean, the ravens being how many of us would have got to that point, got out of the car and just, oh, been so frustrated and that's it and forget about it. A couple of things here. From your adversities that you faced, was there a gold nugget, a true piece of education, learning experience that came out of it all?
Well, what happened after that is that all of a sudden I became and I've always been interested in nature. I've always been somebody who spends a lot of time outside, but I come from the South Bronx. And as I was growing up, I thought that trees grew out of little holes of concrete, and that was it. And I thought the only thing of wildlife was, squirrels and, pigeons. So I really didn't have a great appreciation until after I left that. And it was around that time that I decided that there's something to this. There's something more. There's something invisible that I'm not seeing. And I have always been spiritual, but I've also been a skeptic. And, at the same time, I had cynicism inside of me. Wherever it came from, I don't know. It's gone now, but thank goodness. And so what happened is once I got back from that trip, I had quickly lost some animals to coyotes in our property. I didn't know that that was happening, and once I understood that, I made our outside cats inside cats. But what happened was my first instinct was to shoot the coyotes and get a gun, which I don't have. But at the same time, that was my instinct. But I stopped short of that, and instead, I decided to look into what is a coyote? What do they do? And I decided that, they were admirable as opposed to adversaries. And at the same time, they were not trying to kill my family. They're trying to feed their family. And there's no blame. There's no right or wrong to it. It's just the way it is. And what it did was it allowed me to open myself to a whole bunch of things that I was not open to before. And I can tell you that almost immediately after that, a Native American elder and I became very close friends. She had opened a shop right around the corner of my house. I never stopped by. I decided to stop by. We ended up talking. We ended up having a very strong relationship. In fact, we did a blood sister-brother ceremony as well. I offered my property. I live on 11 acres of wetlands, which is not buildable, and that's why it was so cheap for me to be able to afford it. But at the same time, it has some beautiful wooded area, and she needed an area to be able to have ceremonies. And so I opened my property to allow that to happen. We built a sweat lodge and fire pits and various other things that we used for many, many, many years, and it was just a wonderful thing. That's really what allowed me, I believe. The Raven story really opened me up because it was a direct experience. And I've been very well read. I absolutely have delved into world religions all my life ever since. I've always been interested in them. I've always rejected religion because of the dogma and the religiosity and the things that we humans do to a great idea. Sometimes we don't do such good things to it. But this completely opened me to a whole new world, and I've never turned back.